Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 22 Panels. As I've been saying a ton, my heart and my brain are in Minneapolis, as is Ted.
Hmm.
Send all support, whether it's emotional, monetary, anything you can do to Minneapolis right now. Uh, I've gotten into all the details too many times, and
Yeah.
today I'm just tired.
Standwithminnesota.com will give you
Right.
every
Well, and
place you
and
could possibly
also
go to. Yeah.
what I did do today is I wrote to my governor,
Yep.
my representative, and both of my senators. My
Yep.
senators, I said, stay in Washington long enough to shut the government down. And everybody else, I said, get thee to Minneapolis. It's
Hmm.
time to not have Minnesotans stand alone. So if you got the time, if you got the energy to go yourself, do so. I understand that most of us work for a living. Your elected officials, however, part of their work could be doing things like going and standing um, up for tyranny in Minneapolis. So, like, write those letters, make those phone calls. But it's time to talk Blood Syndicate, which is
Hmm.
something I desperately need today. And Ted desperately needs it today, and Marcus just always desperately needs it because he loves his milestone. So I mean, we love our milestone too, but I know that Marcus would be drawing right now if it weren't milestone. That's just the way he rolls. He likes
Yeah.
me, but you know,
Also, sorry I'm late. It was because I lost track of time drawing. But
Hey, no, it
doing
happens.
work for a living.
Uh,
You don't have a bell that rings at the end of the day. You have to keep drawing.
you
Oh,
got the
wait
bus
a minute.
clock.
No, you work another job and then you come home and draw and don't have a bell that rings at the end of the
Oh
day.
my God.
yeah, we're here to talk about the syndicate. But seriously
Woo.
though, just briefly,
Yeah.
yeah, Ted, I definitely thought of you, man. I meant to check in, but
I appreciate that. I mean, I personally, I'm in the suburbs, but like every person I know, everybody I know has been affected by it, and
right.
yeah, it's seeing people getting frog marched out of my local childhood library, and hey, you can maybe hear the helicopter that just started up over my house. I literally just, good Lord, yeah. So it's
The
yeah,
22 panels Instagram has definitely been highlighting some stuff. The Minnesota cartoonists
yes.
have been
Trung Le Yen
ice
has been
out.
doing some
They've
great
been
stuff.
doing
Yes,
they've all been
Catherine
doing
Woodward.
like 4-page Instagram cartoons in blue.
Yes, Catherine Wood.
Um,
I always forget her last name.
Woodward,
Woodward
Maynard,
Maynard.
Woodward
Wood.
Maynard, yeah.
Yeah. I love you, Catherine. I always forget your last name. Yeah. No. Blue Delaquanti's been doing some good stuff. Like everybody here I know, we have all been
right.
doing incredible things. Archie Bongiovanni put out a great one just the other day or two ago.
Yep.
It's yeah. I mean, we are there. Minnesotans here. We are doing as much as possibly can. I did not think we had this in it. Well, no, I did. It's one of those
I knew you
things.
did.
I like looking at it now. I'm like, oh yeah, I do realize. So I read somewhere some factoid that like Minnesota has the second highest level of like social trust among residents, after like Utah. So yeah, man, we know each other. We're neighbors.
So,
We're
so,
friends.
so, so the ways to do it are to be Mormon or be Minnesotan.
Yeah. Hey
That
man,
makes sense to me.
and Minnesota nice means we are nice to those who deserve niceness, and everybody
Right.
else. I mean, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get
I have to
too
say
arrested,
there have
but
been some really, really nice blooper reels of federal agents who don't understand how snow and ice work.
the guy slipping on the pavement. Oh, that angle. I watched that a dozen times. Anyway, yeah, no. The Nazi getting sprayed at the super soaker when it's like two below. Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean, go on your Blue Sky, go on your Instagram. You will see all this. You know what's going on. Keep us in your
Yeah.
thoughts, but also like be inspired by us because
Yep.
it's, you maybe part of it is also, as other people have also said, hey, guess what? There have been a whole lot of other horrible, high-profile things happening in
Uh,
Minnesota. There's
yeah.
George
Yeah.
Floyd, Philando Castile. There have been other really horrible, awful incidents,
Well, I
and like
mean, earlier
Minnesota.
this year you had
Oh
two
God, yeah,
two state
yeah, oh
lawmakers
yeah,
targeted.
God, oh my God,
I
the
mean,
Hortmans.
just briefly, because I know we're trying to move on to
Right,
comics.
sorry,
No,
sorry.
But no.
no,
But
but it's
briefly, it's double triggering in the sense that it's like the shit that they're doing, whether it's Renee Good or Alex Pretty. It's like it's the type of shit that's been happening to black people forever.
They,
And so
yeah,
it's like I don't want to see it happen to anybody.
no.
Um, but it's kind of like I know this all too well,
There was
and
actually a
I know
really
it's
good.
not it's they're certainly not done happening to us, because it's as old as America. So
Yeah.
There
yeah,
was a Saturday
I
Night
don't have a
Live
lot of
sketch
lows
this
about
weekend.
this.
Yeah, we can.
What?
I think we've said enough, but it's.
Well,
I mean, thank you for saying
I
that.
was going to say that there was a Saturday Night Live sketch this weekend that
Oh
touched
God.
on
Oh God,
that
yeah.
specifically and is worth doing
I
because
suppose
they,
I'll take your
they
word
did a
for it.
PBS NewsHour where the white talking heads were trying to do their whole thing and the two black people on the panel just kept going hmm and throwing them
Hmm.
away as they tried to rework. Well, no, I mean, it's not. Well,
It's cool. No,
Yeah,
it's all
we
right.
good.
know.
It's all good.
but
It's all good. It's all good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
maybe let's
I
talk
just,
about some comics. Yeah,
it's
but
funny
now it's
because
time
just
for Blood Syndicate.
we can move on. It says I
Well,
think
I
that's
mean,
what I was in the middle of saying is that just kind of humor humor. I'm having trouble finding much humor in any of it
no,
right
I
now because
get it.
it's dark. It's really dark, and
Yeah,
it's like, and I'm far from the first person that says this, but when uh photogenic white ICU workers who everybody reportedly loves are getting popped and executed in the street. It's like it just when Black America when white America has a cold, we have the flu. So it's kind of like
right,
when I see this danger, descending upon um, you know, people like
right.
the latest shooting victim, I'm just like, yo, it's the danger for us is just even going to be higher ultimately. So,
Right.
but let's talk about Blood Syndicate.
let's talk about Blood Syndicate.
Yeah.
We read Blood Syndicate issues 24 through 27. Someone check my number.
7.
All right,
Yeah.
27. Yep, 4 issues in a
Yeah.
row. This is the first Blood Syndicate in the book, so I was like, oh my God, what's been happening? Because I had to go
Yeah.
back and just like double check. Because it's as much as I love Blood Syndicate, I do feel like it has the most threads going of any
Oh,
of
it's
any of the
teamwork.
Milestone books. It
Yeah.
seems like. I mean, because Static had different things going on, and Icon and Rocket both have their stories, and Hardware, of course, has multiple characters showing up. But like, Blood Syndicate there is no single main character of Blood Syndicate, and that's a strength. But it also makes it tough to remember. Like, oh yeah, what was Dog up to? What was happening? I mean, they kind of had a
Yeah.
boogeyman arc recently because they had the thing where they found out he was white. Kwai is was she leaving at the start of this arc, or did she leave during this arc?
Yeah, the start of the arc.
Okay,
Part of it.
spoilers. Well, not spoilers. We're talking about it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, and also, it did release 30 years
Yeah.
ago.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Almost 30 years ago. Good lord. Actually, just about 30 years. Good lord.
No,
I had to look some of
30
this
years
up.
ago.
Yeah, I looked at the release dates because I was trying to remember. So this also, by the way, this sees the return of a couple characters that we hadn't seen in a while, including Templo, who died back in issue
Mm-hmm.
10. And
Yep.
like chronologically, even before that, because that was like a flashback issue to the start of the Blood Syndicate. Um, and that was that I think the only issue that Templo appeared in physically.
I think he was definitely mentioned quite a bit because, like, when
Yeah,
they were, when they would talk about the what preceded the Big Bang and like the different factions,
yeah,
like they definitely would speak about him a lot. But you're right. I think as far as appearing, that might have been the only issue where he like really was on the
appearing. Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And up until the most recent arc, of course, where now we have. So, yeah. So, issue 24. Let me actually pull up my book and start looking at what the pages are because I got to remind myself, oh, yeah, what did happen? Page. Oop. Um,
While
this
you
is
do
also.
that, to your point, oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Sorry.
No, I got nothing else. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say is like, yeah, to your point about like the dense like overlapping arcs with characters. I am grateful for the fact that they do a previously title page at the beginning of each issue
Yeah, it
because it
generally
just
has a
helps to situate yourself.
pretty good catch up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is book 2. Where did I put book 3? going insane.
Book
uh,
5, I think, was just solicited too.
oh, good God.
For those reading along, book 4 is out. Book 5 was just solicited.
We may have to cut this out. I left it on the couch in the next room. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, this hits so many characters, Marcus. Some of them I remembered, some of them
Yeah,
I had to remind myself.
yeah,
And I don't know if it's because of the way we're reading this, where it sometimes means that we're away from a title for a period of time, or if it's just they're stretched so thin. I both loved how much was happening and some of the specific scenes, and didn't feel like I got enough of anything in these 4 issues.
That's fair. It is like it's incremental progress in all of the major plot lines, I felt like,
Right.
which is good because I again, it's like all these plot lines are great. Like Third Rail and Brick trying to make a life of it on the outside. We've got
hmm
Wise Son and Dog getting after each other. We got, stuff inside system happening. We got the system escapees. Like, it's all really good stories. It's just that it's four of them or five or however many all at once happening and getting
Well,
confused.
and don't forget Brick and Third Rail leaving,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Quai leaving,
Yeah.
yeah. You mentioned that.
and
Masquerade just left.
well, and then
Like
comes
an issue.
back.
Well, he's been gone for a
Well,
while. Well, they've been gone for a
Yeah,
while. Yeah, but
Masquerade's
yeah.
been
that's,
gone,
yeah.
but Masquerade winds up coming back.
Yeah.
hmm
Oro, I mean, that's the thing is like finally some of the other plot lines are also coming together because like Oro had been in a few earlier issues, like the last 2 or 3 issues, totally unconnected from the Blood Syndicate stuff, but now finally coming back. Anyway, so no, so we start off. Yeah,
hmm
sorry, while I was out, did you guys start talking about the issues or anything?
We didn't
You
get too
caught.
deep into it.
Yeah,
I think you caught the essence. I filled the
yeah,
gap by saying that I both loved and hated how much and how little was going on.
yeah. And also, this first issue, by the way, has a different penciler than usual. It's John Higgins. John Higgins. Um, it's still got Michelle Wrightson doing the color, but it's not crisscross as usual. And I think that's significant because I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like the 3 issues that came after this 25, 26, and 27, where it goes back to crisscross, the inker whose name I'm forgetting, I feel really bad, and then Michelle Wrightson on colors. Like, I feel like those are like even better than they have been. Like, crisscross has been good. I mean, spoiler,
Yeah,
Ro,
shocking thing to
Ro,
say, I know, but
that's
like,
Robert Keanu
Keanu,
is the
thank you.
inker.
I'm sorry, Marcus, what did you say?
no. I was just agreeing with you. I think one of the things about Chris Cross, I like Chris Cross's art a lot. A fan since the '90s, but like, yeah, he steadily like gets better, and you definitely see it throughout the run of Blood Syndicate.
Yeah, I kind of went
Um,
through previous issues and was looking and was like, wait, okay, were there different inkers? Were there different colors? And like, yeah, there's a couple other inkers, and of course there was a fill-in issue or two, but like, it's pretty solidly been that team on art for most of the run, and like,
Well, I
it's
mhm.
always been good, but something I don't know, man. It's like it's leveled up somehow.
I was about
It's
to say we saw John Paul Leon
that's
level
yeah,
up a while ago, and
yeah,
I feel like this is kind of the arc that we see Chris Cross leveling up, and I think that's in part because he's got to organize pages with so much going on and tell so
Right.
much,
that's fair.
while at the same time not letting it become, he's got to get really creative with some of the ways that he lays out these pages, tells these stories. This is both, and I mean this is the highest possible compliment. These are both books that you can read super fast because they flow and they don't use more words than they need, etc. And that you can spend a ton of time with because even though they flow, if you're really digging in, they're cramming a crap ton
Yeah.
panel to panel.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and also
yeah. I wanted to say that, like, I always shout out when I can shout out Ivan Velez, because I love his writing, and also, and at this point that we're at, like, he's currently writing Blood Syndicate and Static.
Oh
But
yeah.
like, yeah, like I'd say this arc is ambitious, which I think speaks to maybe what you were talking about. Yeah, like your reading of it, Tad, in the sense that there is so much going on. I'm grateful that the like we'll get into it, but the superpowered individuals whose system had been experimenting on, I'm grateful that they captioned them a lot, only because they're very new to us,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they really, I mean, new in the sense like we mentioned, Templo has been around before and everything, but as far as like really being on the page,
Yeah.
you know, what I mean? They're all new, so it was very easy to be like, wait, who's this now? Like, you know,
Well,
and you
they
also weren't familiar with
captioned.
people's power set,
Oh
so
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
they
I
about
guess
to
my
say
captioned
like
my
I
Bloodshot
point,
a lot too, or not Bloodshot, Blood Syndicate a lot too, which I think was helpful for the story in general.
right?
Um,
But obviously, like at this point, yeah, you're right. They were doing that for the team, but at this point, we're
right.
so familiar with the team, we're familiar with their powers.
No,
But
I just
like
happened to come
he
across the
really
page where
jumped
they were
in,
all in
and
bed, and it was
yeah,
Fade, Wise Son,
yeah,
Flashback,
hmm
Pearl.
yep, yeah. But
yeah.
I guess. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no.
Oh, I
No,
was
I mean
just saying. Yeah, sorry. You go, Ted.
no, I was gonna agree with you about the power specifically. I was trying to look up here because I was wondering, like, yeah, it's like one person can maybe do like hallucinations, and then one other person could do like poison or something. I couldn't tell. Like everybody, like Temple has got telekinesis. There's one person who turns into a dragon or like a beast weirdo dude. I guess the dragon.
Yeah,
No, the dragon is Masquerade because that's the other thing. Is like a lot of their powers have been upgraded. So like Oro's powers are a lot more powerful, and Templo has, and this is another like this is some really visible art upgrade. Is like he's got this like crackling energy around him at all times
yeah, yeah.
that leaves
I
his
like how they
face
rendered
like
that.
yeah, it's like half shadowed, and it's just really
Hmm.
man. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Um,
Yeah, like
but
he uses both shadow and that like you said, crackling light energy
yeah.
together really effectively.
Yeah, those scenes with like the system escapees are really good because they're all kind of weird and moody and like mad sciency and yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean that's sort of the main est thrust of this set of issues then is systems internal problems because part of it is spurred by Agent Rose who
Hmm.
I had to go back and reread all this stuff because I had forgotten. He has a daughter, but he also has terminal cancer, so he decides he's going to mess up system stuff to I don't know, just mess them up for the sake of it. I never quite got a reason for it beyond like he had nothing left to lose, but whatever. Um,
Yeah, I think it's like change of heart. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't remember his exact what the cause, but it definitely comes across he's done with them.
yeah, he's done with them. He smashes up all their systems, which allows all the people to escape, but doesn't like fully stop system. And of course, they kill Rose pretty quickly too. I think. Who kills him? Actually, how does he die? Hold on. I know he gets
Well,
killed somehow.
he's not dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like messed up, but he's like he does survive.
Okay.
Because what's her name helps him escape.
Oh, one of the escapees, one of the people with
Yeah,
powers,
her
or
name is
so
yeah, I'm
there's Mistress
forgetting.
Mercy. I'm having to look this up. There's
Yeah, it's her, Mistress Mercy, I think.
okay. She's the one who kind of transforms into like a horned demon looking character thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is like again, there's they're covering a lot of like who are the different new characters because yeah, Oro, Masquerade, and Templo you've seen before, but everyone else is new and it's we don't know what their powers are. I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, Caress with a K, whatever her thing
Right.
is, and then Bubbasaurus, I guess you've seen is the big dinosaur guy. Yeah. Anyway, but but yeah, its mother has been using all the various people who escaped from or who were, taken in over the last few issues. They captured Oro, they captured Masquerade after Masquerade escaped with all the money. And now they've been experimenting and now they break out. And so part of it is about like the internal complications of system because of course this looks bad for Mother and her whole station is ruined. And then it's about Masquerade back on the streets and kind of back in the same position he already was, which is I betrayed my whole gang for $5,000 and they're going to try to kill me as soon as I show up again. What can I possibly do? Um, It's just that now his powers have been upgraded. So like when he turns into a dragon, he can actually breathe fire. I guess it's never kind of
Yeah,
spelled out, but that was the impression I got anyway. Um,
yeah,
but also then yeah, I mean it's the internal conflicts of the Blood Syndicate where like the conflict between Dog and Wise Son is really kind of heating up, and I like that a lot too, and that both of them are very. I mean, as with all the Blood Syndicate characters, they're very human. Ironically, in the case of Dog, but
yeah.
like they're
And
so.
and
Go ahead.
oh, just briefly, I would say like Dog in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously there's definitely other Blood Syndicate characters who display conscience, but I would say Dog seems to be like the conscience of the team in a lot of ways. He doesn't always get listened to, but
Yeah.
Dog oftentimes will like really speak up and advocate for doing the right thing or doing right by somebody.
But also the one who's kind of the keeper of the rules, because like when Masquerade
Yeah.
steals the money, Dog is the first one to say like, "Oh no, he's on a death sentence now. That's it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
he's never
That's a good point. That's a good
Yeah,
point. Yeah, yeah.
and it's an interesting contrast, then, of course, with Wiseson, who's got sort of the force of authority, the willingness to be the person in charge, but also kind of rubs
Hmm.
a lot of people the wrong way and doesn't know what he's doing sometimes either. It has his own sort of, I wouldn't say weak points, but like he doesn't know what to do with
Well, no, I
his
mean
yeah.
briefly, I just want to say I think you're definitely onto something. And first of all, it's like I feel like I've definitely known Wise Son reminds me of people I've known in real life, and it's like the type of person who's been through a lot and like is like yo, kind of like only the strongest survive type mentality, but with it, it's almost like everything is a nail, like like a hammer to a nail. The way they approach every situation,
Yeah.
and Wise Son has admitted I don't think necessarily to others, but always, but to himself that he doesn't necessarily know what he's doing, and he does recognize he's messing up, but he
Yeah.
he also doesn't want to show doubt or weakness, and he's alienating like a lot of people. That's like the recurring theme between all the characters in one way or another.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I like that there's, sort of interesting side bits of other characters coming together. I mean, Third Rail and Brickhouse, obviously. But then also like Fade and Kwai having a nice little quiet moment when she decides to leave, or Aqua Maria, DMZ, like just looking silently at each other.
Hmm.
Like I love the little bits that remind you that like, yeah, some of these characters still get along. Like
Hmm.
it's a really rich, dense cast that I really God, yeah, I love them all bouncing off each other, even if a lot of them are frequently wrong or sort of focusing on the wrong thing or whatever. Yeah, it's such a good cast. It's such a good cast, and unfortunately, that means that we have to keep adding people to it. Like now that Oro's coming back, we have to figure out what to do with him, and Templo is back, and I don't even know what's going to happen with him because we haven't seen it yet. But anyway, but yeah, essentially all the system escapees escape. Um, Masquerade is on the run and is realizing, crap, I have nowhere else to go. I can't go back to. Did he used to work at was it a strip club or, I mean, was it a strip club that was basically also a
That
brothel?
that I don't remember. Maybe.
I had to go back through earlier issues because there's a thing where he's, well, and it's also referenced in that one of the other escapees. It's not the dinosaur guy. It's kind of the blue demony looking guy. I say guy. I
Hmm.
actually don't know if anyway. That person was like, they go back to someone at the same club, I think, who like they used to
Oh,
be a
Babe. Yeah,
Babe. Oh,
the
Babe.
Ox
Yeah, of
one,
course.
right?
The Ox. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. God, you think I know my own states? Anyway,
yeah.
but yeah, like he goes back to the club because apparently he knows someone there. Like used to be either the bodyguard or the bouncer or something. I don't quite know. Anyway, but yeah, so
Hmm.
Masquerade has nowhere really left to go. He's alienated everybody he knows. And then cut to a page later, we've got these kind of quiet moments where everyone's sleeping and Fade's having nightmares, and Dog wakes up and kind of goes out in the middle of this rain and thinks he smells something. Something attacks him and he disappears, and then suddenly Tech Nine shows up from the dead, and
Hmm.
that's the big reveal thing, and that's the big cliffhanger ending, and like it's one of those things where I admire that they're doing it. I forgot that this happened after my reread, and I kind of forgot about it because it was obvious like immediately what they're doing. It's like, oh, this is Masquerade pretending to be Tech Nine, which is it's not like super telegraphed, but it's pretty
Wait a
obvious
second.
after.
Oh,
Is it?
you're
Well,
blowing my
okay.
mind.
Wow,
Wait, I
sorry,
didn't
spoilers.
catch that if that's the case.
So
Wait,
I
is that
might
what it
just
ends up being?
I'm pretty sure it
Or
is. Like, I think I might have read ahead and just remembered that also. But it also is like, the page after
because that
Masquerade is like,
wasn't obvious to me.
okay, all
Oh
right,
Yeah,
shit.
maybe
no, I didn't think that was the
I
case.
maybe I'm remembering too much, and also now I'm sorry I spoiled it because we don't actually get the next few issues until volume 4, so we're not even going
Oh
to read it
man.
until like June. Oh, sorry guys, but
Oh
but it is one of those things where it's just like the pieces. I mean, I think it was I had read it, years ago. I did my own reread a few years ago, and then I just must have remembered it. But it's also like the timing is so. I mean, it's clear what's happening. That Tech Nine appears like 2 pages after Masquerade is like, oh crap, there's only one place left I can go, and also Dog
hmm.
disappears or not. Well, Dog
Right.
disappear. Dog is attacked, and like we find out he washes up on the shore, having been like almost beaten to death.
Yeah.
And Dog is the one who was always closest to Tech Nine, and presumably could probably tell that Tech Nine wasn't Tech
Oh
Nine.
man.
Yeah, and also that
So
like Masquerade, Tech Nine as Masquerade as Tech Nine was like concerned about whether or not he could still use the guns that he had, and that's like,
hmm.
oh, because he had some, his powers are all about like summoning guns, and then they had infinite ammo. And so I assumed it was a thing where
Right.
it's like, oh, Mask didn't know if his powers would work to let him use those guns or etc. So, yeah, sorry for spoiling on you guys, I guess.
No, no, that's interesting because I will say yes. The thing that really brings the mystery element of like, wait, what is happening is the fact that Dog had been attacked and was injured,
Yeah,
you
and it's
know.
also to their credit, like I
But I
wasn't
didn't
angry.
connect it to Masquerade.
Yeah, and I mean, again, to everyone's credit, to everybody's credit, it's not like it's not super telegraphed. It really isn't. I kind of was overstating it, but it's one of those things where the timing is once you see it for what it is, it's like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then also, yeah, of course, Dog would be the one attacked, but they're never like in the remaining issues of this run. Tech Nine appears at the end of 25, so in 26 and 27, there's no really obvious hints that Masquerade isn't or Tech Nine is Masquerade. It's still left pretty I wouldn't say ambiguous. It's there's no obvious thing of like Masquerade shifts back at the end of the issue. It's like, haha, I fooled them. There's
There's no
no there's
reveal.
no reveal, yeah. But it is like if you read between the lines enough, it seems to all make sense. And
The
also
only
spoiler.
thing that throws me off with that theory, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the only thing that
No,
throws
go
me
ahead.
off with that theory is we do see, quote unquote Tech Nine at the end of the issue after um Masquerade has seemingly gotten away, you
Yeah.
know, and Masquerade was like basically trying to make an escape with the money. So to me, it actually would, I guess, and you know what, that's like great 4D chess if that is the case that it's Masquerade, because it seems like motivation wise, it would not be in his best interest. And Masquerade, the last we saw him when he was being pursued by the team, he was basically like, I know what the deal is. Like, it's a death sentence for me to be here. So he'd
Yeah.
really be playing with fire to like be hanging around as Tech Nine. And so
Yeah.
by the
But also,
fact that at the end of the issue we see him around and he's getting into a power struggle with Wise Son, I just feel like that wouldn't be keeping a very low profile, you know?
no, but also I think that's consistent with Masquerade being a not a super long term planner. I mean
Oh,
that's sort of the thing
maybe.
that yeah, that's so I know I've said this on previous episodes. My experience with Milestone started because I got a handful of random issues like when they came out in 95, 96. And so I had one issue of Icon, one issue of Hardware, that kind of stuff. And I had the issue of Blood Syndicate where Masquerade betrays the team by grabbing the bag and then just swooping off. And it's really so I read that issue compulsively because it was the only issue I had of it. And Gesundheit.
Bless you.
Gesundheit again,
Sorry.
geez. It's still pretty cold in Minneapolis, guys. Um, and like the way that moment happens and the way that it gets presented is it's so obvious that Masquerade is like at the end of his rope. He has no idea what he's doing. He's just going to try the one thing that comes to mind is like, all right, I'm just going to grab the bag and run for it. And he does. He just grabs it and runs in like the middle of a conversation. Like they're walking down the sidewalk and Masquerade's like, all right, screw it. And just grabs the money, turns it into a hawk and flies off. And then, the people who can fly try to chase him, but they can't catch him, and he gets away, and they're like, all right, well, I guess we got to kill him. And then also Masquerade is counting the money later, and he's like, oh, this is $5,000. That's like nothing. I thought it was like 50,000, and is also suddenly aware how badly he screwed up. So I think it's very consistent
Right.
for Masquerade to be impulsive and kind of stupid. I don't want to say stupid, but doesn't really consider
Mm.
long-term implications. And also like his final internal monologue. So it's Masquerade is flying as a hawk back sort of across the city, and he's thinking to himself, and he's thinking like, where do I go? Um, I can't go back to my mom. I can't go to I can't be
Hmm.
homeless. I can't do this. Um, I could never. Uh, he tries to go back to the other escapees and think like, oh, I could be a leader. Well, I could never be a leader, or no, I could be a leader, but I could never be a leader in the syndicate. And of course, the other escapees have already gone. And so he's like, damn, what am I gonna
Oh,
do?
I could never be a
Oh,
leader in the syndicate.
syndicate, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
another person.
Okay. I
The
see it
syndicate,
now. I see it.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
like I feel bad now for kind of spoiling it, but
Well, I
No,
that's
it's
just
one of
it's
like I'm kind of
yeah.
glad that you did because like almost everything I had to say was about Tech Nine coming back.
well, and it is one of
And
those things
now
where
I
like
won't sound stupid.
I do love Tech Nine as a character, and I do wish that he does. Like, I do wish we had more time with him because I liked him as so much as a character. He was also out of his depth in the same way that Wise Son is, but was more willing to be open to reason, and like, despite the fact that he had these incredibly aggressive powers where he could just like teleport infinite ammo guns into his hands, wasn't like, as gung ho shoot first, ask questions later as Wise Son often
Hmm.
turns out to be. So like, I liked him a lot as a character, and I always kind of felt bad that he died after like 10 issues, whatever it was. Um,
Right.
and I wanted to see him back, but yeah, this was a cool shift, and I like what this storyline does because then it forces all these characters. And again, the mask never breaks. Like Masquerade never reveals that he's acting as Tech Nine in here in these two issues, and everyone else really believes it's him, and nobody sort of seriously questions that he's back. I
Mm.
mean, people are kind of shown squinting at him in a panel or whatever, but like nobody ever like grills him on past stuff he should know or stuff like that. They dig up his grave. I love like this was, God, that was great and awful and a wonderful little bit where
Yeah.
they Fade goes into the grave because you can sink into the box, and like they look around and try to figure it out, and they're like, well, okay, I guess there's nothing in there. Maybe it really is Maybe it really is Tech Nine, and
Oh
then at
wow.
the
And
end,
if it is Masquerade, that's extra messed up. He
yeah,
desecrated Tech Nine's grave
yeah,
just for his
the guy
plan.
melted.
And Masquerade is like that. Like is you know,
Not
it's
smart enough
in
to do it, but dumb enough to think
but
it
I
was
even
that was
mean, yeah, just kind of Masquerade is definitely like that type of person that's like I have nobody I can count on, blah blah blah. But they're also kind of it's like they don't have they don't have a code,
yeah,
because they feel like maybe the world has dumped on them so much, and so when it comes to dealing with the world and others, like he doesn't have a code.
yeah. They'll switch on whoever
So
he'll switch on whoever he needs to in order to get where he wants to be. And
yeah,
maybe that means treating people nice sometimes, but also he will just completely screw you over if he has to. And like I I yeah, I like Masquerade as a character, not as a person. Obviously, that's always one of those distinctions you got to make. Where it's like they're an asshole, but I love them as a character in a book like this because none of these
yeah,
characters are really good. Like, well, no, that's not fair to say. All these characters have good
yeah.
elements and also negative elements, and they're balanced really well. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah, we also get more of like the system in fighting. I love that. I do have to say I love this is so comic booky, and it's absolutely perfect that we find out, oh, Mother's in trouble for, leading her system cell into getting all their stuff smashed up. She's gonna have to report to her superior, who is of course grandmother, which
Grandmother. Yeah.
that's so good. And she's just a different old lady who hands people cookies afterwards. That's so like, oh God, I love comics. Um, but also is of course a ruthless killer who just pops off, or not, who kills two of the other three scientists that Mother brought with her, and gives the last one a cookie just because that's what she's like. Um,
And he faints, right? He doesn't die in that
yeah,
panel.
as far as I can tell, he
He
just faints.
faints.
I think from having that.
Okay.
But
yeah. Because at
then,
first I was like, oh, did she poison the cookie? But he hasn't opened the cookie, so I think
yeah, the
he's
cookie's still in the
just
plastic. Yeah.
yeah.
And then we get that great shot of Agent Scar, who I don't know if that's a, I guess that's a character we've seen before, but I can't really tell. But he's got that great like twisted black metal armor thing. That's really good. Yeah, all these and like the colors are really interesting on these pages. Um, oh God, yeah, I don't know, man. This is some. None of these issues are moving really fast, but like they're exploring all these storylines really well, and I like them bouncing around. I mean, just before that sequence with grandmother, Templo and one of the other escapees, and then yeah, that other the system agent Rose, they took with them actually. They go to the father, the priest, uh, Father Francisco, um, and like basically force him to give them sanctuary in a nice little tense moment. And like just
Mm.
the facial acting in that sequence is
I
really good
couldn't tell,
because
were they using some sort of power on him or just guilting him?
I
No,
think they were just guilting him. Yeah, yes,
yeah, it
and
was
I
guilt. Yeah.
yeah, because it went back to that issue where Templo first appeared, issue 10, and Father Francisco shows up there too. It's like Templo was, from what I remember, I do need to reread it again another time, but like Templo like used to work at the church as like a I don't know maybe
You
a
did,
janitor or something.
yeah.
Yeah, and he was much more of like a pacifist and like really kind of frightened by his powers and didn't want to do all this, anything violent. But now he comes in and he's all got this. I love the sinister like underlighting and the shine the glinting eyes that he's got and his head's all shaved because he's got brain implants or whatever. And like there's a really great darkness to him that shows that he's changed and I love it. No, it's a great little bit of acting. These few pages here where it's just them, yeah, guilting and not threatening exactly, but like, hey man, just let us stay here. If you know what's good for you. Like it's again like Chris Cross really feels like he's leveled up on every level. There's this great panel on if you got the book, it's on page 794, the last panel where it's the priest like looking up at Templo in fear and is like his face is all shadowed except for his eyes, which are
Hmm.
like huge and white, and he's terrified. And God, it's just the little bits of shading and lighting are so
Yeah,
good. Yeah. No,
yeah.
I like it a lot, man. Hey, guess what? We like these comics we read.
What?
Who knew?
I thought we were supposed to be reading the comics that we hated.
Yeah. Oh man, we could do that.
No,
Man.
that's
There's a
the
lot of
rest
those.
of comic book podcasting. That's
Oh,
everybody
okay.
else
That's
does that.
right. That's right. I wanted to be different. I forgot.
Right.
You heard about that Hush 2 storyline that got going now? Man, that sounds bad.
I
I
um,
actually
haven't
haven't,
actually read it at
but
all.
oh my,
is it disappointing?
I, I
That
kind of plan to read it when it finishes, but
yeah,
like,
that
in
yeah.
like 2028.
when will it finish?
It's like
That's exactly why I'm not picking it up in single issues because I know it'll
yeah.
take forever. The first
Uh,
Hush took forever.
you gotta
Yeah.
love that they actually managed to set up a situation though that they have two Batman, just normal Batmans coming out at
Yeah.
the same time with different numbering.
Batman 2016 and then Batman 20 I guess 25. Yeah.
Right.
It's so
Wait, you're talking about not two separate books, but you're talking about the main series has
there's
two
two yeah, there's two separate
Technically, the
simultaneous.
new volume of Batman has started already because they
that's the fraction run. Yeah.
right.
It's number 1, but now we've also got
Oh,
Batman number
okay.
160
They were
whatever.
supposed to finish all of the Hush before they moved
Oh
into
my
it,
god.
but it didn't work out that way.
This is exactly why because I was Batman was still on my pull list, but I told Bob at my comic shop, I'm like, I'm just gonna read these in trades. This is keeping up with monthly, and then
Right.
and
I
it's
took it
it's
off
kind of
for I
cynical.
actually
Look, I've
had
come,
taken it off for the Hush and then I put it back
yeah,
on for the Fraction. But
I know that's the thing is like I do want to read Fraction, but like I
right.
as a publisher, I find it so it's just kind of like we get that he's your biggest character, but come on, like stop
Right.
flooding us with a million Batman books.
And
Right.
they're both
And I like
titled
Batman, but
Batman.
it's yeah.
It's just yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, 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 that's all. It's just cynical.
I was just
It's
bringing up Batman.
cynical
Anyway,
business. Yeah.
back to Blood Syndicate, a good comic.
Why aren't there a million Blood Syndicate books?
Where's my
It should
Blood
be the new
Syndicate?
X-Men.
Oh, you don't want me to answer that?
That's fair.
No, just because I don't want you to be upset right now.
Yeah.
Not
No,
because
I'm
it's
good.
not fun when you answer that.
So yeah, issue 27 starts up, and this is the other part. Like, this is the other reason I expected Masquerade to be unmasked, or Tech Nine to be Tech Nine to be revealed to be Masquerade in this issue, is because the cover shows Masquerade in midair somehow fighting Flashback, Fade, and DMZ. So like, oh, he's gonna be revealed in this issue, and then he doesn't. Although he like Masquerade, so Masquerade does show up separately as himself, presumably to sort of
And
sell the
that's the
illusion.
other reason that I was really confused. I guess I never
Right.
realized that Masquerade and Tech Nine were never in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
the
I'm
is,
looking
like,
back. That's exactly what I'm looking at now.
yeah, Masquerade shows up in the middle of the night, and like Flashback
Right.
sees him. I think Flashback. Yeah, Flashback. And then he just runs away. But Tech Nine is never visible during that sequence. So yeah.
Well, and
Um,
they're it's clever from a writing perspective because it's mostly because Masquerade flies away. It's really just the flying characters who pursue him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so, they
Yeah.
it kind of gives cover to like, wait, where is Tech Nine? Because
Yeah. Why
you
isn't
know he's not a flying character, so
he? Yeah.
you don't necessarily think right away like, why isn't he chasing him?
Yeah. But yeah, this issue opens with Tech Nine, I guess, finally back in uniform and everything. And like again, just these just like 2-3 pages here where it's him kind of, supposedly wondering whether he's got his powers back and so forth, and everyone is also questioning that. There's just a lot of really good, subtle facial acting. Just, the back and forth of characters,
Hmm.
acting suspicious or acting like uncertain or suddenly realizing where they're at. It's very small, very good, very well handled. I don't know. And then of course we get Aqua Maria coming in, assuming Tech Nine is back from the dead and going nuts and like slamming him
Right.
against the wall, and then being like, "Oh no, it's okay." Um, More shadowy stuff with the system escapees. Agent Rose flees, and then this is the part, yeah, where Babe shows up at this. Yeah, the House of Lamour. I had to look that up. I think that's the place where Masquerade worked. I guess shortly after they transformed or before they transformed or whatever. But like, I think Masquerade has some connection to this place. I guess it's a strip club. I don't. Anyway, um, but Babe has a conversation with this woman who is his, I guess, I don't know, girlfriend, lover, wife, whatever. But they're he's like transformed now and doesn't know if she's still gonna love him, and of course she does because it's Um, we get Oro and Caress. Oro goes back into his apartment only to be found by two cops because it turns out they framed Oro for the murder of his partner. So he has to escape. He meets with Bad Betty. He gets back on the run. It's kind of just checking in on all those characters. And again, like I like what you were saying, Tad. The weakness of these 4 issues is that it's just sort of it's checking in on a lot of stuff, but it's not doing any big major shifts except for the return of Tech Nine. But again, like if you look back on it, I think that yeah. Um, yeah,
I do
Masquerade
have to
showed.
say, because I mean, I think you mentioned it that you maybe had already read ahead, and I think I mentioned last month that we've actually with like this arc, like we've kind of passed where I read in the original run. So like this is all new to me. So I have
Mm-hmm.
to say, like reading this with fresh eyes and not having the benefit of issue 26 of not having the next issue to or not 26, 28. I do think that like this is a good job of hiding it like right in front of your face, you know?
Yeah.
Because now
Yeah.
that you've mentioned it, I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, yeah, this does add up.
Yes,
Um,
I must have just remembered that it was happening, and it wasn't never in
Or
my
it'll
head.
turn out you're wrong and
Right,
we'll all laugh at you in
I'm
what, 5
totally
months
messed
when
up.
we get back
Yeah,
to Blood
it's gonna be
Syndicate.
July, and you're all gonna be like, "Ha, you were
Ha
drunk." Oh,
ha!
Tech Nine's back. Anyway, but yeah, no, I
oh,
Tech
I'm
I
gonna hunt
Nine's
down that
having a
issue
fight
before
with
July.
Masquerade.
Yeah, but yeah, I do. I mean, I like that. Assuming I'm right, um, it is. It's never pointed out to you, but like if you read it with that in mind, you're like, oh, that makes absolutely perfect sense.
I
This is
think
why
it
Tech
like
Nine is just a little
very
bit
briefly
shady.
crossed my mind as a possibility, and I forget why I ruled it out, though it's
Well, and he like
entirely possible that it was just because I wanted to.
he asks where Dog is, and he refers to him as that crazy mutt, which like I can kind of be something he says, but it's a little bit out of character for him. That was like his best friend, you know. And
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
and then of course at the end of issue 27, Dog gets found by a couple of people on the shore, and he's still alive. And it's a big thing. It's like, oh
Yeah.
God, what's gonna happen next? And yeah,
Which
um,
that's the most damning thing is the fact that like I was like, okay, something is wrong, because of what was going on with Dog. I don't know why I didn't put it on Masquerade though.
it is
Well, I
one of those
think
things.
because Tech Nine is still there. Like I could see if Tech Nine just totally disappeared after Masquerade disappeared, but the fact that he had the temerity to come back and what I mean, and
Try to
still
be
be
both
chilling there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So that's it's interesting.
yeah. It is like it's never it's yeah, it's not hiding too much. It's not showing you too much. It's there if you kind of read. And it's also like you never quite question it. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I always think of movies that have, mysteries or thrillers or whatever where like someone says something that at the time reveals exactly what's going on, but
Right.
it just kind of glides off. The example I always think of, which isn't even a great example, but like in Dark Knight
Usual suspects.
Rises. Oh,
Dark
Usual
Knight
Suspects is a
Rises.
lot of that stuff, but Dark Knight
Yeah.
Rises, like in the fight between Bane and Batman, which is kind of the big climactic second act set piece. Um,
Yeah.
Bane says something like, I didn't see the light until I was already a man, and by that point it was blinding. And it's like, if you actually think about it, you're like, wait a minute,
Right.
but the kid we saw was a
Right.
kid when they came out. That can't have, so that wasn't Bane. Wait a minute, but
Yep.
it's in the middle of everything else, and you just kind of it just slides off
Yeah.
you.
It's hidden in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I feel like this is a similar thing, and again, like I'm pretty sure I'm right, but like it is assuming I'm right. It's handled in such a
I
way that
think you are.
it's very yeah. I mean, extreme love to I've less of this because it's really well done. Where it's none of it is being handed to you, but if you look for it, you're like, oh no, that does make sense. Yeah, of course, Masquerade and Tech Nine never appear on the same page together.
But that's
Like, of
that's
course,
the best stuff to me, where you're like, oh damn it,
yeah,
how did I not see that? Because not
yeah.
now that you mention it, I'm like, okay, that was right there. Yeah.
It's yeah no. So this is again like these four issues. And again, like these four issues are kind of just shuffling pieces around, but they're all pieces I want to see moving, and it's that's a weird way to put it. They're all storylines I like seeing progress. Then we have there's a check in with Third Rail and Brick, and they're like going into Brick's old dad's store, and like there's this nice little sweet moving moment between them. It's so sweet. There's a lot of little things along the way that just continue this book as yeah, the better version of the X-Men. Let's not call it that, but like it kind of is.
I mean,
It's
particularly at the time.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the
Look,
dysfunction, not dysfunctional. It's the yeah.
yeah, that's definitely fair for 95. Yes, I will say, and I love X-Men. X-Men is one of my all times. But yeah, I would say for 95, X-Men was not my favorite. So,
Was that
but
right? That was like right
yeah,
around Age of
I'm gonna
Apocalypse.
I'm gonna I'm gonna get this digitally because I have to know what happens next.
Me too, man. I'm gonna look this up because crap, I can't. I gotta know if I'm right or not. No,
Yeah.
I
it's
mean,
it is
like I said, the number four is already, or compendium
Yeah,
four is already out.
I
I
know
have it
I'm
on my
too broke to
shelf.
pick up the compendium right now.
ooh, good.
I'm just gonna get the issue.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah. Um, write it off on your taxes though. Yeah, but yeah, like
Hmm.
it's all these issues are kind of just keeping things moving, even if none of it is really big plot developments. Like, oh, those scientists in System were killed, and then uh, Agent Rose escaped, and Mother was, superseded by Grandmother because that's how it works. Like, sure, that
Hmm.
kind of continues the behind the scenes drama of System. That's yeah, perfect. All the stuff with yeah, Third Rail and Brick making their own way, and also Quai leaving because Quai's whole deal is mysterious and unfathomable. Um, sure, like it's there's nothing particularly pressing for the group right now because that was the other thing is like they were down a lot of money in order to refurbish the headquarters, and they got it somehow. No, that was when they robbed the crack house, but then they lost all that money because Masquerade took it. What was?
Yeah, no, that's definitely it's been a plot point for a while that the
Yeah,
money was dwindling. Also, they all had differing opinions on whether I think Wise Son was really the only one that was like, yeah, we need to, we need to keep getting paid this way. And so I think it's been an aspect of the story for a while that they have not been getting their funding that way. And they had
yeah.
kind of run through that money.
Yeah, and they the one last one that they did, which I think is the one where Masquerade took the take. I guess that was the one they I don't remember, but yeah, they're kind of at the moment. There's nothing else major happening. It's like the Demon Fox isn't threatening them. They don't have the money thing pressing super hard apparently.
Yeah.
Um, Flashback is back doing crack. Apparently, that was I didn't mean to make that a poem, but like it's just shown that yeah, she's still doing drugs every now and then. She got the pipe every now and then.
She's been struggling, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, she does run out during this period and say that she's going to quit.
yeah, that's
So
right. I
my
forgot about
fingers
that.
are
Right.
crossed for her.
Well, and I do think that I mean, sadly, is a realistic aspect of the story is that like obviously addiction, a lot of people have every intention, and it's really, and I mean, crack in particular, which was literally engineered to be extra addictive and cheap,
Yes.
um, and also dropped in the black community intentionally. But
Yes.
so it's like, yeah, but and it's interesting with flashback because it's not just random. It's like it's definitely I think understood that she has a terrible power and a
Yeah,
terrible I think she feels a terrible weight on
yeah,
her, with that, and she's like wrestling with the times she wasn't able to save somebody, and then also simultaneously with just kind of being expected to be the one to always do that, even if your powers don't necessarily cooperate with you in the
yeah.
situation.
What issue was it where it was like the first 5 or 6 issues was just her continually like trying to save
Yeah.
everybody, failing, going back, doing it again, doing like that was God, that was so good. I
And
forgot
then
what it was.
Wise Son did a very Wise Son thing and like really got on her about like, yo, why didn't you save whoever it was at the time? Like, which is
Yeah,
literally the worst thing he could have said. Like,
yeah, yeah. But also like that's kind of a character for Wise Son. Again, like I love Wise Son as a character for being such a he's got interesting issues, you know. Again, all these
mhm,
characters have such they have nuances that make them fallible and make them human and make them really interesting, even if they're also sometimes terrible people or make terrible choices or whatever. Yeah. So,
yeah.
um, no, I mean, and Fade is of course still worried that he's going to fade away into nothingness, and Boogeyman doesn't even show up in this. I think he's back on the team, but he just didn't
He
show up. I
shows up
guess.
briefly because
Yeah.
at the beginning of the first issue in this arc, he's there, he's present, and you know, it's tense and everything, and but the tension is mainly focused on the fact that Brick and Third Rail are leaving,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
um but you get Boogeyman's thoughts because Boogeyman is basically saying like that they're kind of wise to be breaking out, and then he essentially says when he says like, yo, I'll see y'all, I'll be back, um he's simultaneously thinking like maybe, but I don't know, like, or something to that effect.
Yeah. And then Oro comes back because he's also got nowhere to go, and Wise Son actually lets him stay because he really doesn't have anywhere else to go. And it's like, man, might as well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I the Oro thing reminded me that I had to look this up.
But
Like,
what? Wait a minute. Was it Wise Son that said he could stay? I thought it was Tech Nine saying that he could stay.
I don't think that was Tech Nine because this was just after Masquerade took off, and assuming that
No, no,
Masquerade
it
was.
is Tech Nine. That's what I was saying before.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
It
Oh,
is
okay.
Tech Nine. That's the thing, and that's from a writing perspective. It does kind of like hide um the mystery or the crime. You know what I mean? Like because like you see Tech Nine after Masquerade seemingly accidentally got
Yeah,
away.
Tech Nine. Yeah, he just shows up out of the door. I forgot about that. Yeah. Wait, and actually,
Yeah,
it looks like Tech Nine even like floats down, which he couldn't fly
where?
before. In the like
Wait, where do you see that?
page 825 of the compendium. um, like Oro comes in, Wise Son slaps him. He kind of apologizes, and then like in the background, Tech Nine, his legs are in the background, and it's unclear if he's like,
I think they might be bending. Oh, that's interesting if that
or
is
maybe
the
it's like a
case. But
ladder. Yeah.
I think they're
Well,
bending because you know what it is. I don't know that Masquerade can
can
Masquerade fly when he's in human form,
I was about
or
to
is
say I
it
don't think he
did
can.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Well,
he has to
no,
turn
wait,
into an animal that flies.
because he can't, but he could. Man, we're getting into the minutia now.
Oh, he's
Because
on the cover
he's
in
on
the
the
air.
cover, although that doesn't mean anything. But also in the bit of well, no, it's unclear. No, that's flashback. Whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter. In any
Okay, yeah,
case, but yeah, I had forgot that it was Tech Nine. You're right. Um, but yeah, it's sort of like the group is coming back together, and I had to go back and refresh my memory of like what exactly had happened with Oro, because it was a thing where he was Shadow Cabinet, but like he lost his communicator, the Shadow,
oh, that's
the
right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he finally got it back, but like doing that had screwed things up enough that Dharma rescinded the offer to join the cabinet. So he was kind of out on his own and pissy about it. And then after all this, is finally back with the cab or the syndicate. So okay, yeah, wow, oof. Messy. Like I say, it does.
yeah.
Man, this is a series that benefits from having a wiki open.
I also found it interesting that I'm forgetting her name, but the Shadow Cabinet character who was trying to help him out
Oh,
said that like
Bad Betty.
basically Betty, yeah,
Or
yeah, that basically that Dharma, that Dharma would basically be bugging out if he even knew that she was helping him. And I'm like, I mean, I think Dharma probably does know. You know what I mean? Like, it just that seems like maybe there's some things that Dharma doesn't know, but it seems like Dharma has near omniscient
yeah,
knowledge of these things.
It,
or maybe he
it,
just doesn't care
it
sometimes.
definitely feels like that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it ends up on this cliffhanger again of Dog being found by a couple people down at the shore. He's still alive. Um, and we'll find out in next issue, presumably, what happened and etc. So it's yeah, it
Yeah.
again a lot of like pieces moving on the chessboard, but no major changes, but it is like setting up all sorts of big shifts for the cabinet. And again, like, if you're updating the wiki issue by issue of who's on the team and who's not, because like Third Rail and Brickhouse are out and Kwai's out, but now like Oro's back and Tech Nine's back. Anyway, Templo's maybe
Yeah.
going to come back, maybe, or maybe he's going to be a villain. It's unclear. I don't remember what happens with Techno, so or Templo.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but yeah, again, like these issues, they stood out to me because I had to go back and check, and it Crisscross and the anchor whose name I've forgotten again because I'm a bad person, um, and Michelle Wrightson. I have no idea if they're related to Bernie. Um, yeah,
Yes.
Roberto Quijano. Oh, really?
Yeah, we
Um,
looked that up last time.
oh, did we? Oh, all right, man. So I forgot about it. But like, it's the same crew. It's
Ex-wife.
oh, okay. It's the same crew as it's always been, and like, it's the same sort of setup, but like something about it just it really hits in these issues. God, I just opened to this
Yeah.
random page. It's where Dog. It's like right towards the end of 24 and like or 25. Um, and Dog has gone out in the middle of the rain because he smells something, and he's like looking up at the statue, and there's like this really cool effect of like the rain pattering everywhere. It works really
Hmm.
well, and all the shadows are super heavy. Yeah, I don't know what it is because it's the same crew it's always been, but they somehow they leveled up, man. These were some really solid issues art wise. Again, obviously the writing's good too, but like the art really stood out to me for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and like I said, Crisscross is continually growing. As far as the color, that is, I've talked about it before, but that's a very milestone thing. They were very intentional about having this about having painted pages, like
Mm,
because like comics traditionally, especially at this point, was traditionally like the Doc Martens dies, which you could do really cool stuff with that, but like they had just a more painterly technique that they were
yeah.
using, even when they would use the dyes for DC and Marvel, they basically were like solid blocks of colors, but
Yeah,
the
it's
milestone technique just allowed for a lot more nuance.
yeah. I'm thinking back on those Jean Paul Leone issues from we talked about last time, the Blood Syndicate or the God, I'm always gonna mix up those two teams, the Shadow Cabinet ones, and the same deal where it's just really, really subtle, really nice painterly colors. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's got that look is really crucial. I think it's good, man. Again, as always, who knew these comics
Also,
would
to be doing that monthly, to be putting these
yeah,
out like with
God.
that, yeah,
Every now and then, this explains. I'm assuming why they had to take breaks every now and then because the
yeah,
first issue in this is that one by I just said his name and I'm already blanking on it. Higgins.
yeah,
Yeah.
which definitely wasn't as good or as clear as Crisscross, but
Right. It's not the same thing, but hey, Chris Cross, I assume had to take. It's gonna take him, like you're saying, it's gonna take some time to do all
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, these issues, it's yeah, Ted. I mean, I get your frustration because I kind of felt it too because it felt like nothing happened.
Well, and in some ways, I'm even more frustrated now because, and part of it might be, it seems like they maybe should have put one more issue with this in the
I agree.
compendium.
I do wonder,
Like,
what the
if the
reason
very next issue makes this all make more sense, I'm going to be like, come on,
everything gets
guys.
revealed. But no, the very next issue in the book though is the Static 25 issue. So
Right,
that's a big shift for another reason.
right.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, no, I am really curious now about what happens in the next issue because again, I had that vague inkling that like, oh, this is Masquerade as Tech Nine, but I don't actually know, and I have zero clue how any of it plays out if it is that case. So I don't know what's going to happen with Templo or Masquerade or any of the other characters. Again, like this is, I, it's different reasons from yours, Marcus, but like I also am sort of you know total babe in the woods on this part too, and I'm looking forward to being surprised by whatever comes next. Because yeah, it's such a good cast.
Yeah,
They're so interesting to watch bounce off each other. Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
I guess it kind of sums it up, man. Right?
I think
All
so. I
right.
feel like we said it all mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have run out of interesting things,
Hey, man.
particularly because like I'm still wrapping my head around. I really thought Tech Nine was back. Everything I had to say was Tech Nine being back, and now you're telling me that it's
I'm just
Masquerade, and I can see it. I think you're right. I do. I think you're right. I can see what you're saying, but that's a
Well,
pivot
this makes
for me.
yeah.
sense. That makes sense because I remember talking to
It's a
Ivan
pivot
Velez
for
and
me.
asking about that moment of Tech Nine's death, and he was like he spoke about it like with finality, and I didn't really like I said, I hadn't read these issues yet. So when I got here, I was like, oh, like I remember like, when we talked about it, he was talking about like it was like a thing he did intentionally to create these stakes and like it was like a done deal. So
And
this
if he
seemed
did come
at
back,
odds
that
with
would be
that.
yeah.
Right. But it
Yeah,
would
it
make sense if
Well, but
that's
in the
not really
back of his
him.
head, he was laughing, going, this guy didn't actually read them all.
he doesn't know he comes back in issue 25. Um
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's really well handled because again, assuming I think it is. Like it's just subtle enough that like you put the pieces together and it's oh, yeah, no, that makes total sense, but it's not none of it is
Well,
being
I
hand
have
the
DC
spoon fed to you.
Universe, so I don't even have to take out my
Oh,
compendium to be able to read the next issue,
oh, there we
and I
go.
might.
So wait, these
I
are so does DC Universe have the full milestone run? Or not all of them?
it doesn't have all of Milestone. It does have all of Blood Syndicate.
ooh,
It has
Okay.
all of Static, all of Blood Syndicate, all of Hardware, and all of Icon.
Okay.
okay, but not okay, not
The
at
main
all
But
the
like
books.
other
it doesn't have Shadow Cabinet. It doesn't have
like zombie or
um
death wish or
Zombie or
Oh,
Death
that's
Wish
messed
or what
up.
do we have next?
I feel like they
yeah,
should
that's
at
right.
least have what they have in the compendiums.
I do too, for that matter, particularly because I have like the premium edition that has many of the other compendiums as compendiums. I
Huh.
think they should have the compendiums. But if they
Yeah.
do, I haven't managed to search for them properly.
It's almost like a lack of commitment to Milestone on DC's part.
Yeah,
You
maybe.
know,
Maybe
I
it
can't
can't be right.
argue with you. I can't argue with you.
Are you listening, Johnny DC? This is what we need to have happen. Wait, Johnny DC was a real
Mm.
thing though. What, wasn't it like a mascot or something they did for him? Anyway,
Was it? I didn't
um,
know about that.
I was making a joke. I just
Okay.
um anyway, yeah, so speaking of though, like what you said, Ted, we got like 8 issues of Cobalt and 6 issues of Icon to round out this volume. And I guess should we just go in on the entire Cobalt run, the 8 issues that
I
are
think
here?
we should. Let's go
Cobalt,
for it.
yeah, Cobalt is another one that feels very. I mean, it feels like it would be called a limited series nowadays, even though it's not
Yeah.
quite that exact. I mean, it's a little bit similar to Death Wish, but in that sense, in the formatting sense, um, even if it
Mm.
didn't have quite the same thing, and it was obviously running longer. It goes up to like issue 20 something, I think. Um, but yeah, let's just go through. So that's Cobalt 7 through 14, I think. Is that right?
Okay.
That does sound right.
Yeah. And then there'll be 6 more issues of Icon after that to get us through volume
And that'll
3.
get us through volume 3.
Whew.
Yeah. 7 to 14, and then Icon 22 to 27.
Oh boy. Yeah, the Icon stuff. That also is going in interesting places.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
definitely.
yeah.
Those issues I had read. I've read like
Okay.
what comes next in Icon,
Yeah, I remember
but it's
some of
been
the
a
big
while.
things. Yeah, same here. I remember the like kind of the big stuff, but not the smaller back and forth. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all this. Obviously, as I have been. Like it's hey man, it continues to be good. Icon,
Yeah.
Milestone. Who knew? I mean, we all did. I'm punchy, man.
I
It's been
mean,
a
I
long
think
week.
so. I think we did. I think we did.
No, I feel you.
I hope
The
we
same.
did. It's
Yeah.
is it still only January?
Oh God, for
I
another
I
week or
I,
so.
I saw somebody
It's
somewhere
January
put up that
2029, right?
Oh God, yeah, I feel
I,
that.
I I I saw a post that said it was the 89th day of January.
Oh
That
God, yeah,
feels
that
right.
feels right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
No, for
Well,
real.
That
we'll make
feels
it through.
right.
It's supposed to warm up for the rest of the week here in Minneapolis, so
Okay.
that's something.
That
That's
a good
something.
or bad thing?
It may lead to melting ice. That's all
But
I'm gonna
will it
say.
melt the proper ice?
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
I
Anyway,
mean,
but
the
yeah,
the ice has been your friend.
some of the ice. Yeah, we'll see what happens next. But
I
yeah,
meant the actual ice
no,
has
I know
been
the
your
action. Yeah,
friend
no, I
against
get
the
you.
other
No,
ice.
I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Um,
I needed to clarify for anybody listening at home.
right. I think the fact that we're reviewing Milestone Comics probably tells you a little bit of something about our politics.
Though I
Just to
will
be clear.
say that I recently had like only the second or third time that somebody that I didn't know sent an email like with a message, and one of the things that they appreciated about the podcast is that we don't always stick to comics.
All
They
right.
like that we don't ignore what's going on around us, even as we do our best to introduce them to really awesome comics.
All right.
So
Good
I
to know.
appreciated that. So
All right. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
we're always there's it. That's the thing. That's the strength of Milestone. It hits on issues that we
it
like talking
does.
about. So yeah.
I mean, frankly, it's the strength of a lot of comics.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have been like banging this drum for a long time, but everybody who's like, we need to get politics back out of comics. I'm like, what do you mean back out of comics? There have never been comics without politics.
Politics is in every work of art, but yeah, comics specifically, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. No.
I agree with both statements.
All
You
right.
know what
Well,
art without politics is? Boring.
not art. I'd say that's a. Oof, man. All right. Well, but yeah, I got to get my beauty sleep. But this has been a good one, and
Yeah,
I
I
do.
do as well. So
It's a good
for
one.
the Brothers Anderson, no relation, this has been the Milestone Book Club on 22 panels, and we will see you after the next page.